Why does she stop calling? Why does she ignore your texts like you're invisible? The answer is simple. You've been doing too much. Yes, too much. Most men think the way to a woman's heart is through constant attention, flooding her phone with messages, checking on her every second, and making her feel like the center of your universe. But let me tell you a secret that most men won't believe. The more you chase, the more she pulls away. It sounds harsh, doesn't it? But the truth is, women are not wired to crave what's thrown at them on a silver platter. When she knows she has you wrapped around her finger, there's no challenge, no mystery, and no reason to invest in you. Why would she call or text when she knows exactly where you stand? You've made yourself too available, and now she's bored. Here's the twist. The moment you pull back, she starts to notice your absence. Suddenly, her phone feels empty without your notifications. Suddenly, she wonders why you've gone quiet. And that's where the magic happens. Men, you need to stop thinking that overwhelming her with attention equals love. Instead, you must master the art of strategic detachment. This isn't about playing games, it's about understanding psychology. Women are drawn to value. When you step back, focus on yourself, and stop making her your sole priority, you create an aura of confidence and self-worth. And let me tell you something. Women can't resist a man who knows his worth. In this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how to flip the script. By the end of this, she will be the one calling and texting you, wondering what changed. You'll learn the steps to reclaim your power and make her see you in a whole new light. So buckle up, because what I'm about to share will change the way you think about attraction forever. 1. Stop texting first, always. If you want her to call and text you first, the first rule is simple. Stop texting her first. Sounds easy, right? But most guys can't resist the urge to send that first message. You think that if you don't text her, she'll forget about you or lose interest. But here's the hard truth. By constantly texting first, you're actually lowering your value in her eyes. Think about it. When you're always the one initiating contact, it sends a message. I'm always here, waiting for you to respond. Women can sense desperation, and it's not attractive. You're putting in all the effort while she's just sitting back, expecting you to do the work. That's not how attraction works. Instead, make her come to you. The key is to create space between you and her. If she's used to you always texting first, stop. Let the silence build. Don't worry, she won't forget about you. In fact, she might get curious about why you haven't reached out. That curiosity can spark interest, and before you know it, she'll be the one initiating contact. The idea is to build an aura of mystery and value around yourself. When you stop texting first, you're giving her the chance to wonder about you. She starts thinking, why hasn't he messaged me? Is something going on? Why doesn't he need me as much as I thought? And that's where the shift happens. She'll start reaching out to you, wanting to know why you're not always available. Let's look at an example. Imagine you've been texting her every day, trying to keep the conversation going. One day, you stop. No texts, no messages, nothing. At first, she might not notice, but after a couple of days, she begins to feel the absence. Suddenly, she's thinking about you more than ever. She might text you first, asking if everything's okay, or wondering why you haven't been in touch. When she does text, don't rush to reply immediately. Let her feel the change. Respond confidently, but don't overdo it. Keep things light and avoid giving her too much of your attention. This creates a push-pull dynamic that drives attraction. By making her text you first, you're flipping the script and showing her that your time is valuable. You're not waiting around for her approval. You've got your own life, and she's just a part of it. This small shift in behavior can make a huge difference in how she perceives you. Remember, it's not about ignoring her or playing games. It's about showing her that you're not desperate for her attention. When you stop texting first, you'll quickly see her interest increase. She'll be the one reaching out, wondering why you've changed. And that's when the real attraction begins. 2. Make her feel your absence. Here's a bold truth that will change everything. If you want her to miss you, you need to make her feel your absence. It's not about playing games or being mean. It's about understanding a fundamental part of human nature. People value what they don't have. When you're always around, always available, she starts to take you for granted. There's no mystery, no intrigue, and worst of all, no reason to chase you. But when you pull back, even just a little, you make her realize what she's been missing. The key here is balance. You can't disappear for days at a time, but you can give her space to wonder where you've gone. When you stop being so available, her mind starts to fill in the gaps. She starts thinking about you, wondering why you're not reaching out, and wondering what you're doing with your time. It's like this. If you're always present in her life, she knows she can reach out to you anytime and you'll be there. But when you make yourself less available, she has to put in some effort to connect with you. That effort makes her appreciate you more and crave your attention. It also keeps you on her mind. A great way to make her feel your absence is by limiting your availability. For example, instead of being the guy who immediately answers her texts, let some time pass before you reply. Don't always be the first one to call. Don't rush to make plans when she asks. Let her feel like she needs to chase you a bit. That small shift in behavior will have a huge impact on how she sees you. Here's a real-life example. Let's say you've been texting her every day, making sure she knows you're thinking about her. One week, you decide to pull back a little. You don't text her at all for a couple of days. You let her come to you if she wants to talk. At first, she may not notice much, but after a couple of days, she'll begin to feel that gap. She'll start wondering why you haven't texted. She'll start missing your messages, your attention. The absence will create space in her mind for you, and suddenly, she'll want to fill that space. Now, when she texts you, it will feel like a real connection instead of just another routine exchange. This absence doesn't mean you should ignore her or play hard to get for the sake of it. It's about creating healthy space that triggers her desire to reconnect with you. When she feels your absence, she will realize she misses you, and more importantly, she will appreciate you more. She'll feel the need to reach out, and when she does, it's going to be much more meaningful than if you were constantly in her face. So, make her feel your absence, just enough to spark her interest and make her want to chase you. It's a powerful tool that makes her see you as valuable and worth pursuing. D. Focus on your own life. Let's be real for a second. How many times have you dropped everything to make time for her? You've cleared your schedule, rearranged your plans, and even skipped things that are important to you, just to give her your attention. It feels like you're putting in all the work, while she's just along for the ride. And deep down, you know it's not the healthiest way to approach things. Here's the thing. A woman doesn't want to feel like she's the only thing in your life. No matter how much she may like you, if she's the center of your world, it's going to feel suffocating. She doesn't want to feel responsible for your happiness or be the only source of excitement in your life. When you make her the focus of everything, you lose something crucial, your sense of self. The most attractive thing you can do is build a life that's interesting, fulfilling, and independent. You have your own goals, passions, and dreams. You're not waiting around for her to validate your existence. You're living life on your terms. This doesn't mean you ignore her or don't care about her, but it does mean that your happiness and success don't depend on her attention or approval. When you focus on yourself, you show her that you're a man who has things going on, who's confident in his own life. She can see that you're not desperate for her time because you're busy living your own. Whether it's pursuing your career, hitting the gym, working on hobbies, or spending time with friends, when you're busy with your own life, she's going to find that incredibly attractive. It signals that you have your own identity, and that's powerful. You don't need to make big, dramatic changes to your life to create this effect. Just start prioritizing your own needs. Don't be available every time she calls or drop everything to make her a priority. Do what makes you happy first. You'll notice that this not only benefits your mental and emotional well-being, but also raises your value in her eyes. Now, we all know it's easy to fall into the trap of trying to win someone over by giving them everything you've got. But here's a harsh reality. The more you give, the less she feels she has to chase. If you're always available, always doing what she wants, always putting her first, there's no challenge. There's no need for her to pursue you. She knows exactly what to expect from you. When you focus on your own life, you stop living for her approval. You stop trying to get her attention, and instead, you start creating an environment where she's the one trying to keep up. And that's what makes you desirable. When she sees that you're a man who values his time and his life, she'll start to value you more. She'll wonder why you're not chasing her like the other guys. She'll realize that she wants to be a part of your world, and she'll start to make the effort to be there. Remember, a man who has his own life is a man who attracts women. If you make yourself the prize, she'll be the one trying to win you over. 4. Show interest, then pull back. Let's be blunt for a moment. Some of you guys are so caught up in trying to keep the conversation going or making sure she's always entertained that you forget the most important rule of attraction. You can't be too available. It's like you're giving her all your attention on a silver platter, and Guess what? She's getting bored. That's right. You're making yourself too easy. I get it. You want her to know you're interested. You want to show her you're available, that you care. But here's the wake-up call. Women aren't interested in men who are always chasing them. That's not how attraction works. It's not about constant attention or being at her beck and call. It's about making her chase you, making her wonder, and making her want more. Here's what you need to understand. Interest is like a flame. It needs air to burn, but not too much. If you smother it, it goes out. You can't keep throwing logs on the fire by constantly texting or calling her. Instead, spark interest, then pull back. Show her you care, but don't overdo it. Give her just enough attention to make her want to know more about you. Then step back. Let her feel like she has to do some of the work. That's when the magic happens. It's time to wake up and realize that you're not a convenience. You're a challenge. She shouldn't know exactly when you're going to text back or call. You shouldn't be so predictable. When you show interest, do it with purpose, but then pull back. Let her wonder why you're not always available, and let her put in the effort to keep the connection going. This creates a dynamic where she has to chase you just a little bit. Here's where many men fail. They think that constant attention and availability will make a woman fall for them. But in reality, it's doing the opposite. You're not giving her space to miss you. You're not making her realize what she's losing. If you're always there, always texting, always initiating, you're doing the work for her. And that's not how relationships or attraction work. Think about it like this. If you're always there for her, texting back immediately, or always ready to hang out when she calls, what's left for her to figure out? What's left for her to desire? Nothing. She knows you're there whenever she needs you. But when you pull back, even just a little bit, you introduce uncertainty. And uncertainty is what triggers her desire to chase you. It's time to wake up, guys. You need to understand the power of pulling back. You need to learn how to play the game strategically. Stop being so available. Stop being the one who always initiates. Be the guy who's confident enough to let her come to you. You don't need to be the one doing all the work. When you pull back, you're giving her the space to come after you. And that's when she'll start valuing you more. Remember, attraction is about balance. Give her just enough to keep her hooked, but don't give her everything. Make her work for it. That's how you'll make her call, text, and chase you. 5. Be unpredictable. All right, it's time to drop some serious truth. The moment you become predictable is the moment you lose her interest. That's right. You might think that being reliable, consistent, and always there for her is a good thing, but here's the reality check. It's boring. Nobody wants a man they can predict like the back of their hand. The key to keeping her engaged, excited, and coming back for more is being unpredictable. And yes, I'm talking about shaking things up a bit. If you want her to call and text you, you need to keep her on her toes. When she knows exactly what you're going to do or say every single time, there's no mystery left. The excitement fades, and soon so will she. Think about the last time you were really intrigued by someone. It wasn't because they were predictable, was it? It was because they kept you guessing. They did things that made you stop and think, what's going on here? I want to know more. Being unpredictable doesn't mean playing games or being cruel. It means that you're not like every other guy she's talking to. You're not the guy who always replies within 10 seconds. You're not the guy who always follows the same routine or always responds the same way. When you keep things fresh and spontaneous, you create a sense of excitement that keeps her wanting more. Here's what you need to understand. Women crave excitement and novelty. When you're predictable, she knows exactly what to expect and there's no challenge. But when you throw in a little unpredictability, she starts to wonder what you're going to do next. This isn't about being an emotional roller coaster. It's about keeping her engaged and invested by showing her that you're full of surprises. How do you do this? It's simple. Stop giving her all the answers. Don't always tell her exactly what you're doing or what you're thinking. Be a little mysterious. Don't always be available when she wants to hang out. Sometimes, say you're busy. Let her wonder what you're up to. Sometimes, surprise her with something unexpected. Maybe you text her something random or take her to a place she didn't expect. Keep her guessing and keep her interested. Here's a word of advice. If you want to be truly unpredictable, you have to be confident enough to be yourself. Don't try to play a role or pretend to be someone you're not just to get attention. That's not the unpredictability I'm talking about. It's about doing things that come naturally, but in ways she doesn't expect. Be spontaneous, be daring. Don't let her think she has you figured out. When you become unpredictable, you create emotional tension. That tension is what gets her thinking about you when you're not around. It makes her curious, and curiosity leads to more texting, more calling, and more interest. She'll find herself chasing you, wondering what you're up to, and hoping to get closer to that mystery. And when she's chasing you, that's when you'll see the shift. She'll be the one reaching out, wanting to know more, wanting to get closer. So, be unpredictable. Break free from the cycle of always doing what's expected. Keep her guessing. When she's trying to figure you out, that's when you'll start seeing her call and text you more. Here's the harsh truth, guys. If you're not getting her to text or call you after this, it's because you've been doing it all wrong. You've been playing the game by her rules, not yours. The truth is, women don't want men who chase them or put them on a pedestal. They want men who are living their own lives, doing their own thing, and making them feel like they need to work to keep up. So stop waiting for her to reach out. Make her come after you. It's time to wake up and realize that attraction isn't about playing nice or being overly available. It's about creating a dynamic where she's the one feeling the pressure to impress you. If you've been the guy texting her constantly, responding immediately and giving her all the attention, congratulations, you've made yourself too easy. But if you start showing interest, then pulling back, keeping her on her toes, and focusing on your own life, you'll see a drastic change. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share your experiences. Tell me how you've been handling things with women and what changes you're going to make after watching this video. I'll reach out and connect with you directly. Let's build a community of men who understand this game and know how to play it right. Don't be the guy who's always available. Don't be the guy she knows exactly how to get. Be the guy she can't stop thinking about because you've mastered the art of leaving her wanting more. Now go out there and make her call and text you. You've got this.